Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election that was held in Nigeria on February 25, 2023, and the result controversially announced on March 1st, 2023. And that result was challenged at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, from where the matter has now moved to the Supreme Court. And on Monday, October 23, 2023, while the petitioners and Bola Ahmed Tinubu's representatives were at the Supreme Court to hear the petition filed against the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu by the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, and the presidential candidate of PDP, Atiku Abubakar. Tinubu had dispatched his lawyers in the United States at the same time to file a motion to stop FBI and others from releasing his record in the United States. So that's yesterday, while all eyes of Nigerians were fixated at the Supreme Court, the lawyers of Bola Ahmed Tinubu were in the United States. They were in Washington, filing a motion to stop the FBI from releasing his records that were with them. That is what we're going to look at now. What is it? What are the reasons of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in this intervention? And why did he have to do this? We are going to give the details of the reasons why Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not want the FBI to release his records that are with them. And he had also profiled the reason why they should not release documents and information concerning him. Welcome. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's and his media people, after spending weeks denying that there was or there is an impending Freedom of Information Act release of his Federal Bureau of Investigation, that's FBI case file, Mr. Tinubu has filed an objection to the release of his FBI files in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. Now, in a motion titled Motion to Intervene, this is what Tinubu wrote, or his lawyers wrote on his behalf. Motion to intervene. And this intervention is in respect of the district courts for the District of Columbia. Aaron Greenspan, plaintiff. Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys, defendants, in a civil action number 23-18616. That is the number of this legal document. Motion to intervene. Bola A. Tinubu moves pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 24 to intervene in this action because plaintiff seeks production of Mr. Tinubu's confidential tax records, which the Internal Revenue Service is prohibited from disclosing by federal law, and documents from federal law enforcement agencies that fall within the Privacy Act or exemptions to Freedom of Information Act and should not be disclosed. Mr. Tinubu should be allowed to intervene because he has direct interest in the records sought. His interests are not fully represented or protected by defendants, and his interests are not fully represented or protected by defendants, and his interest will be adversely affected if he is not permitted to intervene. Plaintiff Greenspan has indicated that he will oppose this motion. Mr. Tinubu's counsel reached out to the government on October 21, seeking the government's position. Now, let me stop here. Here, Tinubu is saying that Tinubu is saying that he has reached out to the American government to find out what is their position on this thing that Greenspan was trying to do, trying to make the FBI to release his records to Greenspan. What is the position of the United States? So Tinubu has also gone out ahead to reach out to the United States government to know their position. What is their thinking? Are they in support of what Greenspan is doing or not? So let's continue now to see what the government said, the government of the United States. He said the government asked for additional information and responded that it would give its position by the evening of October 2023. So the evening of October 2023. So we don't know what the United States government would have told Tinubu on the evening of October 2023. Whether they will tell him that they support that Greenspan go ahead with what he's doing, or that they are involved, or that this is a private American citizen who is enforcing his rights that has nothing to do with the government of the United States. Now continue. He said, because plaintiff filed an emergency motion on October 20, Mr. Tinubu filed his motion prior to receiving the government's position. Prior to receiving the government's position. It obviously means that Tinubu wanted to find out whether this thing that Greenspan is doing, he is encouraged by the United States government to do it. That's my reading of this. Now, this is the argument. We have gotten to the stage of the argument in the motion. The argument that Tinubu is making why he don't want his records to be handed over to Greenspan by the FBI. The argument, Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 24A provides for intervention as of right on timely application by anyone who claims an interest relating to the property or transaction that is subject of the action and is so situated that disposing of the action may as a practical matter impede the movant's ability to protect its interest unless the existing parties adequately represent that. Interventor must meet 4 requirements to intervene as of right. Here, Tinubu is giving lowdown on the qualities, on the qualifications for you to intervene. That if you meet this criteria, you can intervene. It means that you can go ahead and press for a stoppage of the release of your documents. You can successfully intervene and stop a matter that concerns you. So he said for you, interventor must meet 4 requirements to intervene as of right. 1, the motion for intervention must be timely. 2, intervenors must have an interest in the subject of the action. 3, their interest must be impaired or impeded as a practical matter absent intervention. 4, there would be intervenors, the would-be intervenors' interest must not be adequately represented by other parties. The four requirements for intervention as of right are met here, as further discussed below. Now here Tinubu begin to give a lowdown on why he met the requirement for intervention. One, the motion to intervene is timely. First, the motion is timely, coming after intervenor learned of this action and prior to the production of documents sought. Intervention is sought here before the production of records, which is slated to begin in late October, and the intervenor's interests are jeopardized. That Tinubu here is saying that his interest will be jeopardized if he doesn't intervene. Therefore, the request to intervene is timely. Two, intervenor has a protectable interest that warrants intervention. Second, intervenor has privacy interest in IRS and federal law enforcement records sought because those are records about intervenor and contain private information. The records that are the subject of the action contain private information, including financial information about intervenor, and are protected from disclosure in whole or part. The Internal Revenue Laws and related statutes prohibits disclosure of tax records except in limited circumstances not present here. Similarly, information collected by federal law enforcement can be exempted from disclosure under Freedom of Information Act. Exemption excluding records compiled for law enforcement purposes. Intervenor also has a protectable interest, and the intervention is appropriate here because defendants appear to be producing records about intervenor, not about defendants' activities. Intervenor has a heightened interest, and the government a lesser to non-existent interest in requests seeking information that the government may have collected about him. That purpose, however, is not fostered by disclosure of information about private citizens that is accumulated in various governmental files, but that reveals little or nothing about the agency's own conduct. Intervention shall be permitted because the record sought appears to be about intervenor, not the government's activities. That is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He presented this motion dated October 23, 2023. Signed, respectfully submitted, intervenor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, submitted on his behalf by Brian A. Carey, one of his attorneys, and Christopher W. Carmichael. Now, this is Tinubu's presentation of his intervention to stop the FBI formally from releasing his record. And it's not only FBI. His intervention covers all the other agencies, including the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, including the State Department, including the Internal Revenue Service, including the Drug Law Administration. From what we have seen here, Tinubu is determined to use the legal process in the United States to stop FBI from making his record available. And you can also see that he did this on a day that the court in Nigeria had started sitting, to show you how committed he is, himself and his team, to ensure that more damaging information does not come out of America again after the one that came out from Chicago State University, which had been the talk of the nation and indeed the world since the discovery was made by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Now, what is interesting here is this. Tinubu is determined. He is determined to stop Greenspan from having access to his documents. Will he succeed? One of the persons that was part of that filed the motion for this Freedom of Information Act documents to be released to them is David Hundiyin. David Hundiyin has also, in his response to this filing by Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Monday, had said that Tinubu can never succeed in stopping the FBI from going ahead from releasing his documents, that he cannot be able to do that. But it remains to be seen, because I keep saying David Hundi himself is not a lawyer. Because if you follow this, what I read to you, the intervention that Tinubu submitted, Tinubu was making point of laws in America to use it to say, look, the Freedom of Information Act that Greenspan was asking for, he said it is for organizations that, like FBI, how they do their process is not about the private information they collected from people on people. That cannot be released. So everything depends on what the lawyers of Greenspan himself, because they are going to find their own motion too. Okay, but what all this thing means is that if care is not taken, the FBI may not be able to release the documents or the dossier on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which they promised they are going to do by the end of this October. You know that the FBI had already agreed to start releasing their dossier or the document they have on Bola Ahmed Tinubu beginning from the end of October. And FBI said that they have 250,000 pages document on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that they are going to be releasing 500 pages a month. That's really much. So now, with what Tinubu has done now with his lawyers in the United States, we don't know whether it will make the FBI to slow down. And also, from the intervention by Tinubu, you can see that Tinubu has reached out to the American government, wanting to know their position. What is their position on this matter? And the American government did not give him answer. They said that they are going to give him answer on the evening of October 23rd. So as I talk to you now, we don't know the answer they have given to him, but he has already filed his intervention under the law. He has filed his intervention. He is intervening. So which means that the FBI will look into his intervention before they go about releasing, because having intervened At least they would have to look into his matter, whether he has a point or not. And he is presenting himself as having a point. But we are going to see, we'll wait and see what the FBI will say and do in the coming days. Because if they conclude that he has a right to intervene, it means it may delay the release of the documents on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is really not what those who want to see these documents want. Because at least whatever, even if the Supreme Court does not want to receive anything new again, but it will be of good value to those who feel that Tinubu ought not to be president of Nigeria, because if the documents that will come out of FBI came out with damning information, at least the media will feast on it. The Nigerian people will know about it, so that even if whatever happens, it will mean that Nigerians will now know truly who their president is, because it is believed by Greenspan and David Hundeyin that information that will be released by FBI will give clarity on how managed Bola Ahmed Tinubu was able to return $460,000 as forfeiture money, proceeds of narcotic, to the United States government. Because the FBI will give thorough explanation on what happened. Because right now, what we know is that he returned the money. He forfeited the money. But we don't have much details on that, on what transpired. How were they operating? FBI will have all the minutes, will have to the minutes and seconds how the group that allegedly put the money in his bank account. Remember that the Presidential Petition Court said that what was indicted was not Tinubu himself, that it was his bank account that was indicted, that it was his bank account that was holding that $460,000 that was indicted, and not Tinubu himself. So we'll be able to know what really happened, and it will enrich Nigerians, because it will, one, get to Nigerians will know when did he arrive in America, what was he doing, what was the name he entered America with, and everything else. That's what people believe will come out of this document. So many things are expected, because to have 2,500 pages of documents on one man, it's not as if he was a government official or something, just an ordinary citizen, a foreigner in a country. And the security agency in that country have information on you that contain up to 2,500 pages. That's quite a lot. So it will be something that many people would love to read. Many people would like to, to find out what it contains. That being said, we look forward to it, and we will look forward to see the response of Aaron Greenspan to Tinubu's intervention. How they are going to object to it. But once again, Tinubu has shown that he's ready to go to the whole hog to protect his privacy, as he tried and failed in the Chicago State University matter. He may still fail in this matter, as Hundeyin is saying that he will fail, that those documents will be released and that they must be released. But we keep our fingers crossed. But at least it is now official that Tinubu has officially intervened to stop the FBI and the CIA, and others from releasing his dossiers to Greenspan, which will eventually be transferred to Nigerian courts for whatever it is worth. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.